All right, how's everybody doing tonight? We have got a couple of breaks on tap. We're going to do some Leaf Best Baseball, excuse me, and then Hoops Basketball by the half case. So there's a little bit of information that I like to go over before we get started. Well, obviously we're started, but before we start ripping into things more specifically. Let me find that. There we go. Okay, so feedback. I have my feedback set to be completely automated on eBay. That way you never, ever, ever have to wait on me. Anytime you leave positive feedback for me, you will instantly get the same in return. And of course, far more importantly, a big thank you. Always appreciate you being here, bidding, breaking, chatting, and hanging out with me. This is what's coming up in the days ahead. So tomorrow night we're going to start super early. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific will open 2019-20 Flawless Collegiate Basketball by the half case. And then we're going to open a full case of Prism Football on Monday. Immaculate Football by the full case. Little Bowman Chrome Jumbo, also known as HTA. That's all autograph hits. There are no base cards in that product. And then Certified Basketball by the full case, all on Monday night. Tuesday is going to be a lot of memorabilia and a little bit of card breaking. So we'll do an actual autographed football, like the football itself from TriStar Hidden Treasures. That's new to their product line this year. We will also open a full case of Leaf autographed full-size football helmets, a half case of Leaf autographed football jerseys, which is still 5 jerseys, and then a case of Topps High-Tech Baseball. Wednesday is a new release day. We'll start early, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. We'll open a half case of Flawless Baseball and an 8-box inner case of Playbook Football, both new releases for that day. And probably I'm going to drop in something else on Wednesday too. Probably I'll put it up tomorrow to run on a 3-day listing. On Thursday, we will open Prism Football again, and that's all we'll open on Thursday. Here is what you need to know for tonight. So we don't have any free shipping breaks tonight. We have both of our breaks are paid shipping breaks. That's Leaf Best Baseball, Hoops Basketball. All of the things that we're opening tonight should be out the door and on the way to you approximately Wednesday. As always, if I can get something sent sooner, I will happily do so. If something unexpected were to happen, could always go a day later. If you get skunked in Best of Baseball tonight, you will still get a package in the mail, and it will have consolation card or cards in it because it is a paid shipping break. In Hoops Basketball, every team's going to pull a card, so I don't think we need to worry about consolation cards. Please remember, Veteran Base has its own bidding spot in Hoops Basketball. It doesn't ship to the teams. Everything else does, but Veteran Base does not. Full details about that, of course, can be found in the listing description. So let me bring you over here for a minute, and I need to check on the payment status over here of a couple of things. We'll see where we land and then figure if we can move onward. So yeah, I wanted to do Leaf Best of Baseball first, but honestly, guys, we've got $600 worth of bids sitting out there right now. So I think that's probably more than we can redo in chat easily. So I guess we're going to shuffle it up, and we're actually going to open Hoops first, and then we're going to open Leaf Best of Baseball second. All right, so yeah, I think that's how we're going to roll tonight, because that's just way too much setting opened right now on the other. So let me scroll down here to Hoops, and we'll take a look at that part of the spreadsheet. So it is a 10-box half case of 2019-20 Hoops Basketball, and that is going to be a half case break. This is break number 3. It is the start of a new case. Everything that we opened tonight ended tonight on eBay Saturday night, the 16th of November. You've got team names on the left-hand side, and winning bidder user ID, I'll get it out in a minute, is on the right-hand side across from each team. Veteran Base, again, has its own bidding spot. That's why you see it listed down there at the bottom. Now, since this is a new case, typically the way this would work is that I would take all the boxes out, number them on the end, use random.org and that sort of stuff. But since this is a big case, a 20-box case, we've been doing it a little differently to save some time. And yes, your background did go out of focus there, and yes, that was intentional. You are still going to be able to see your cards just fine. That actually does allow us to see them up even closer than we would otherwise. So when I open this case, I think these are left and right, but let's take a look in here. And I'm going to let you guys who are live in chat, we're going to take the majority of the first 3 answers that are typed in. And yeah, this is oriented left to right. So we're either going to break the left-hand side of the case or the right-hand side of the case tonight. And I'm looking for my first 3 answers, whether you want to do left or whether you want to do right. And I'll take the majority out of those. So Joe and Jay Allen and everybody who happens to be jumping in there tonight, if you could type that in, I would appreciate it. Jay Allen says, am I having asthma? Yes, I am. I definitely am. I tried to use my inhaler right before we started, but for sure, yes, I'm still having a little issues. All right, Jay Allen says left. Nate says left. Joe, it doesn't matter if you're in the break or not, man. You can still say left or right. But at this point, we know that we've got 2 left, so at least that's going to be 2 out of 3 anyway, so we can go ahead and get rolling with the left-hand side of it. It will take me a minute to dig all these out of here. Joe says he's going to go with left just to help out everybody else. All right, man. Thank you. Almost got him. There we go. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got one too many. One must have slid over onto my left-hand side. I thought I should have even stacks. Yeah, I know, right? Brain fog. Let me get this half of the case that we're not opening put away. Be right back with you. Okie dokie. So, this takes a little while, but we're going to go through the first box a bit slower than we'll go through subsequent boxes, basically to get everybody familiar with what we're opening, what you're going to be looking at, and then we'll go faster through the rest of them. Jay Allen says you can hear asthma 10 miles away since you have it too. Yeah, I know. I've really been battling it lately. It's been a difficult last several months, and I just can't seem to kick it this time for whatever reason, despite all the amazing amount of medication I take for it. It still seems to come kick my butt sometimes. Jay Allen, you've got the Hornets, Jazz, Sixers. You've got a lot. Blazers, Pistons, T-Wolves, Rockets, Thunder, and Nets. All right, my friend. Let's see what we can do for it. We will do our best for you. Nate, who you got in here tonight, man? What's your pleasure? Pick your poison tonight. And just as a reminder for anybody who jumped in after the fact, we're doing hoops first. We moved Leaf Best of Baseball as our second break tonight because we had way too much of it unpaid. Way too much to try to redo in chat. So hopefully that'll get paid by the time we get hoops squared away, and then we'll be good to go. So that's the plan. As always, the worst part of any break like this that has tons of packs is just simply extracting the cards from the packs. That just takes forever. And especially when I apparently butchered the wrapper there. Didn't help anything, did it? Took a little bit longer. So my Wildcats won in football today, which if we had not beaten Vanderbilt would have just been disastrous. Vanderbilt's only won 2 games all year. My Wildcats not much better. But I guess the big news out of college football today is Tua. I saw, of course, everybody was replaying it. I wasn't watching the game live, but he got busted up pretty good, sandwiched in between a couple guys, and dislocated his hip. I cannot even imagine how painful that is. But at any rate, he is done for the year with a dislocated hip with Tua. You said, Joe, you're in a Jersey break on another channel with an old fat guy. Okay, brother. Well, good luck. Oh man. No, Cruz, I can't watch TV and do this at the same time. Gracious, no, this takes up all of my mental energy to do the break. So for sure, I do not do that. I wish I could, but no such luck. All right, so this is a backstage pass. It's a hollow foil, and most of these are not numbered. A few of them may be. There's another reason we're taking an extra long look at this, besides the fact that it's an insert, because you'll see he's in a Raptors uniform, but it's for the Clippers. Somewhere on here in little tiny letters, it tells us the date he was traded to the Clippers, and then again, Clippers noted as the team on the back. What that means to you is that cards go to the teams on the card. They do not always correspond to the uniform the player is wearing. And there's a high voltage insert. These are generally not numbered. I don't think I've seen any yet that are numbered. Of course, again, rookie cards do go to the teams, as do these tribute inserts. It's only our veteran base, which is all these kind of cards right here, that have their own bidding category. Everything else other than veteran base, like that courtside, does go to the teams. We're going to find other inserts too. I'll mention them again as we go along through this first case, or first box rather, not the first case. Good Lord, we'd be here all night. Through the first box, we're going a little slower. We'll speed it up through subsequent boxes. So tip off, we're going to find plenty of these. We've got obviously two different teams on each card. So what's going to happen with that? It's going to go right up there into what I call housekeeping. At the end of the night, random.org will be used, and we will find a home for all of those. Zero gravity insert, unnumbered. We will find plenty that look like that. We'll probably find a couple that are the hollow foil versions as well. Ditto with these NBA cities. That's just a base one, but there are hollow foil versions, which I'm sure we're going to see plenty of as we go along. All right. So, Jay Allen, you saw the hit live on Tua. I mean, it did look bad. It really did look bad. Yeah, I can't even imagine how much that hurt. So this example, you see that kind of purple border? We're going to find some of those along the way, both rookies and veterans. Those are parallels, so they do go to the teams, but they are not numbered, oddly enough. So they just added a little bit of color, and that's about it. We got next another insert set that we'll find both in the base version like that, as well as a hollow foil version. All of them are inserts, so you got it. Goes to the teams. What else? What else? There's more. Legends of the Ball. Plenty of those. Basically, it's kind of a lot of... It's a heavy... Oh, boy, can I speak? It is a product that is heavy with inserts and parallels. There we go. Now I got it out. Me talk pretty. Eventually, I get it out. Joe, you said your guy is drunk doing the live stream. Oh, wow. Nice, man. Oh, wow. Oh, well, Jay Allen, that's, you know what, when you said what you said originally describing him, I wondered if it was the person that Jay Allen just typed in. And in fact, we see now that it is. I'm not going to say it out loud because that's, disrespectful. I don't need to shame anybody in that manner. I'm going to try not to anyway. But yeah, I do know who you're talking about. So, All right, the Pacers. I can't say this guy's name, Badadsey or whatever. I hit him all the flipping time, and I think I hit him all the time because I can't say his name. Anyway, that's the first autograph out of this box. We're looking for a pair of autographs in each box. This is a silver hollow foil. It's numbered to 199. This particular one goes to the Nets. Once again, ignore the uniform because the guy has been traded. We will find probably some of those in, I want to say the ones to 99 are green, and we'll find some of them too besides the 199s. Spark plugs inserts tend to fall maybe roughly one a box. They are, of course, hollow foil. They are not numbered, at least none that I've seen yet that are numbered. Our second autograph out of this box, I managed to stack something in the wrong spot there, is headed to the Nuggets with Rafe LaFrentz. Like, who is that? Has anybody heard of that guy? Am I the only one who does not know who that guy is? I might be. I don't know. I've been challenged lately. He's swearing about some college player right now. Oh, listen, if he's just now starting to swear, you're in pretty good shape. It can get ripe, though, sometimes. Action shots, Steph Curry. I have done some breaks with him myself. So, yeah, I know what you're saying. Numbered to 2019, Road to the Finals. There are tons of these in here. Some are to 2019. Some are lower. Most of them are still pretty high numbered, even the quote-unquote lower ones. So unless it is really low numbered, we won't even talk about them when we go forward into other boxes. I might show you the number by turning it sideways or whatever, but I'm not necessarily going to read all those off that are to 2019, etc. Because, you know, we don't care about that, do we? Not really. We care about I'll put that in the opposite order. We care about the low numbered stuff. Not so much the high numbered stuff. Well, for the most part. Unless that happens to be like your team. So there's what I was talking about. Purple parallel of a veteran. They aren't numbered either, but because they are parallels, they do sort out and go specifically to the teams. They don't fall into that veteran base category. For the Hornets, there's our little green hollow foil, and that is numbered to 99. So the silver hollows that are numbered are to 199. The green hollows that are numbered are to straight up 99. Like Brooklyn 99, except not. All right, so there's box number one. Now you got an idea of how it's going to roll. Oh, he got mad because somebody called him out in chat for being drunk. Well, hey, you know, I mean, I guess if you're going to do it drunk, somebody's going to call you out on it, right? Although, frankly, I couldn't imagine trying to do a break drunk. Good Lord. I don't know. Myself, I stay on Red Bull, which is what I'm about to have a sip of here. We got to keep it rolling with the Red Bull on my side of things. Oh, that guy is an old school Nugget. I don't remember that guy at all. Was he really good, Jay Allen? Oh, he pulled a Kyler Murray autographed jersey. Very nice. Did I just cuss? Oh, no. What did I say? I didn't even realize. What did I just say? I cussed? Oh, man. Sorry, guys. I didn't even realize I did it. You know, I try really hard not to. I occasionally will abbreviate a curse word, but I try never to say one because I think there are a lot of kids that watch breaks, and I just I don't know. I try to really mind my manners in that regard for that reason. I'm sorry. I don't even know what I said. I just looked over there in chat and you guys... Uh-oh. You said that Nuggets player was okay, but, like, not great. Okay. Oh, I didn't cuss. Joe did. Okay. All right, well, I feel better now. I thought I might have had a caffeine blackout and not realized I didn't. Because now, not only is all the Red Bull kicking in, so is the, well, what I would call the excessive inhaler usage. Right before the break, because I was trying to get the asthma to go away before we started. And so I used the inhaler like an extra couple of times. And now I think all that albuterol is kind of, whew, it's got me jumping out of my skin a little bit, I think. Joe says somebody's snitching on you in chat. Hey man, it's all good. We're all family here. We snitch. It's okay. It stays in the family. Don't sweat it, my friend. Yeah, if I wasn't worried about the fact that, you know, kids might be watching it later or something, I would probably be right along there with you. So there's an example of Zero Gravity that is the hollow foil version. Those still aren't numbered, but, you know, variation anyway with the hollow foil, so take what we can get, right? And our first autograph out is going to be for the Knicks, or first out of this box. And that is Kurt Thomas for the New York Knicks. And what else we got in here? Another one of our Road to the Finals. I like that card set, Road to the Finals. But, I mean, why does it have to be numbered so high? I know they print a lot of hoops, but couldn't you just still make it numbered a little lower? I would like to have a little chase with it and not to 2019. At that point, it just might as well not even be numbered, really. Of course, if you remember back in, well, gosh, I would say even as recently as like 2010, maybe even 2009, you know, back when we were first starting to see lots of autographs and relics and numbered cards and things appear, we would have been, oh yeah, 2019 is not that high. It used to be a lot higher numbered stuff than it is now. Now we're spoiled, at least I am. I like it to be low. The lower the better. But I guess in a product like this, it would be silly to expect that we would find a lot of low-numbered stuff, right? Because it is mass-produced, to say the least. Jay Allen says extra inhaler gives you, will give you the shakes. Yeah, I know, man. Believe me, I know. But listen, sometimes if I'm about to do the break, I've got to kind of try to get it calmed down. So occasionally I've got to use it a little more than I might prefer. But see, it did eventually kind of get calmed down, but it definitely wired me up a little bit. Action Stars. And I didn't have asthma as a kid. That's a weird thing. I got it as an adult. Isn't that odd? Yeah, I got it when I was young. I mean, a young adult, but still. That's when I came up with it. And I'm glad I didn't have it as a kid, because I don't even like it as an adult. Can't even imagine what it would have been like as a kid. Trying to play and stuff with all that going on. High Voltage. I do like that insert set. It's kind of my fave out of this year. And we have, I told you, we keep hitting this guy because I can't say his flipping name. We're going to hit him again. The Pacers. We hit him last night in Prism Draft like 1,000 times. So however you say his name, that's another one for the Pacers. Pacers are rocking tonight, aren't they? They hit a lot last night too, so I don't know. Something in the air, I suppose. It's a Pacers kind of time. Okay, box number 2 down. Here we go into number 3. An O.J. Simpson autographed jersey he pulled too. Listen, I told you guys, it's, you know, I knew they were going to work him back in, and they did start working him back in last year into autograph, like jerseys and mini helmets and stuff. And I'm like, you know, like, what does it take, really, to have somebody permanently excluded, right? I mean, the guy, I realize he was acquitted. I do. But let's just be realistic. Does anybody, I mean, I don't know. He went to jail anyway for something completely unrelated to that. But I knew, we all knew, it'd just be a matter of time till they would pay him for his signature and put him back in these products. Oh, I'm sure we'll get some of the others in here too at some point. Like, it was Ray Rice that knocked out his fiance, right? The Raven. It was Ray Rice that knocked her out and then kind of dragged her out of the elevator by her hair. I'm sure at some point down the road, we'll get Ray Rice back in here too. It's gonna be, you know, crazy. Crazy, crazy. Well, yeah, Jay Allen, you're right. We have also been on a run in basketball of getting a lot of duplicate autographs in the last week or something. That's just, I mean, weird. But now the case where we had the 2 Vlad Guerrero Jr.'s and 2 Acuñas out of the same case, that was kind of nice. Even though they were duplicates, I was kind of happy about that. Did think that was pretty good. So I know it's very hypocritical of me to complain when we get duplicates of guys that aren't superstars and rejoice and extol the virtues of duplicates when we get the great guys, but at least I admit it. Okay. Let's truck on through this one and see what we can find in here. Anybody that jumped in that hasn't already heard me say this, we are now moving. We're going to do Leaf Best of Baseball. It's going to be after Hoops. So Hoops first, Leaf Best of Baseball second tonight. Highlights. We don't find as many of these as we do some of the other cards. They're unnumbered as well, but they are hollow foil. They're nice cards. And I don't know, we'll probably, in one half case, I think we only found maybe 1 of them. But then we did another half case where we found 3 or 4. So it's kind of hard to say what to expect tonight. But I would think somewhere between 1 and 4 would be a reasonable expectation, given that. So not as common as some of the other inserts is the moral of the story. Another hollow foil for action shots. Uh-oh, are you getting in trouble over on that other live stream there, Joe? It sounds like you might be. Sounds like somebody's giving you some grief over there in your other chat live stream, perhaps. An autograph for the 76ers, Kyle O'Quinn and the Sixers. A Luke Kennard to 99 for the Pistons. Lillard on a spark plug insert. Memphis Grizzlies and Ja. Oh, nice. And that is hard signed as well. Memphis, nice hit. Very, very nice hit. Ja has been just straight fire so far his rookie year. So love that hit for the Grizzlies. Congrats if you've got Memphis. That's a nice one. A very nice one. We've already seen these. These are our veteran base that we've already looked at. I just wanted to get them out of the line of fire there so I could stack some more. I'm weird like that about not letting my stacks get very high. I think they shouldn't be super high. DeAndre Ayton to 199 Phoenix Suns. There's a courtside for Karl Anthony Towns and the T-Wolves. Craig. Hi, Craig. You have the Memphis in here tonight. Congrats on that jaw, man. That is a sweet little hit. And his autograph's been a bit elusive so far this year in the various products, so I'm kind of pumped to see that come out. Another tip-off. They're all going right up there. We'll deal with that entire stack of tip-offs at the end of the break because each one's got two different teams on it. So we've got to sort it out and find it a home. More action shots. And what else? High voltage for the Pistons. It's actually probably, that is Kyle Lowry and Kawhi Leonard championship moments. Now, those you don't find a terrible amount of. That particular one is numbered to 99. So the Raptors get a cool little numbered card in there. Kevin Knox, an NBA City holo foil parallel. All righty, that box all wrapped up. So it is probably a good thing that they had a lot of hoops, though, because the way it looks the rest of the year, everything's going to be really difficult to get. So even Donruss, I think I told you guys this the other day, but one of my reps told me, because I looked at my Donruss numbers for Donruss basketball, and I said, why in the world are my Donruss numbers getting cut? You know, you can always buy as much Donruss as you want. And they said, oh, yeah, well, Panini told us they're not making very much of that because they want to use their resources in other products. So basically, you know, the new products they're creating, which they've already announced a handful of new ones, Origins basketball being one of them that I'm looking forward to. So they decided they'd rather use their autograph resources in the new products than in Donruss. So they're printing, apparently, according to my rep anyway, they're printing a whole lot less Donruss basketball than they ever have in the past. And of course, that's one of the ones that usually you could buy a lot of. And then the quantity of that would help us down the road get more of the other stuff that we want. But guess what? No, sir, they're not going to make much of it. So now we're going to have trouble getting stuff all year long, I think, for basketball. He said, you think every few cases they should have a hot box with one autograph per pack? Oh, wow, no. They would never put 24 autographs in one box of basketball. No way. Because they just don't have enough to go around. I mean, think about the roster size for basketball teams versus the roster size for football or even for baseball, because you can go down into the minors and stuff like that and really expand your baseball checklist, and you can go into all your legends and things like that. They don't even have that many retired signers in basketball. I mean, some, obviously, but like how many of them are really superstar level that we would all clamor to get? And of course, rookies are in very short supply. It's part of the reason basketball seems like it always has fewer hits than football does, because there's less to go around, basically. Yeah, you're right, JL, and they could use guys like that Nugget, and they do put in some guys like that. But if it's not a very big name, people get frustrated with that too, and then they wind up, you know, kind of not being as interested in the products, and it's a bit of a double-edged sword, I guess. Hollow foil, NBA City, Kevin Knox, and the Knicks. I don't think they've ever found a good solution for it yet, anyway. There's a nice little Ja Morant as well, so that, of course, mocked up to look like an NBA Hoops magazine cover. And those are not numbered, but those also tend to be in pretty short supply. That's something you might find. I think we only found one in the last case. I don't think we had two. I think we just had one. Sometimes when we split these cases up, it's hard for me to think back of what came out of both halves of something, but it's not one you find super often anyway. So Ja with a couple of nice pulls tonight for the Grizzlies. Another example of forget the uniform, look at the team kind of deal. Action shots again. Lots of different tribute cards in here this year, as you've seen many different players on those cards as we come across them. Which also makes it interesting. Adding in a few little things to chase. But, you know, as much as I kind of go, ugh, I wish there were fewer base cards, there are people who really do like the base cards, so I guess that's why they make some products for everybody. Some with lots, some with a few. Base card wise, I mean. You said after all the gold label breaks you did, you ended up with 12 Patrick Wisdom autographs. Well, I mean, he's the only Ranger in there, so I swear to you, I think they put him in every single case. I don't think we opened a single case that he wasn't in, did we? I don't think we did. To 99, Torrey Craig, Green Parallel Nuggets. I believe that Patrick Wisdom was actually in every case of Gold Label, unless somebody saw one where he wasn't in. Like, I'm not saying that facetiously either. I really do think he was in every single one. Quindary Weatherspoon and the Spurs. Seems like it had been forever since we'd seen an autograph, right? Shamit to 199 Clippers. Frankly, I don't really know why the Sixers traded Landry. I mean, he's a nice fit with the Clippers, but I'm surprised a little bit, I guess. The Sixers traded him, but who knows what they're doing up there. It's the process. We can't question the process. Meanwhile, Jimmy Butler hasn't cussed anybody out down in Florida, so I guess we're doing okay in that regard. He's been on the move quite a bit the last couple of years, obviously. He had some high praise for Bam Adebayo the other day. Jimmy Butler did. Of course, Bam is he second year now? Was he a rookie last year or was it year before last? I think it was last year. I lose track. Alex English. Could have been year before. I don't know. Anyway, another one for the Denver Nuggets. That is a little throwback ink with Alex English. But so Bam is starting to kind of develop into the big man that everybody envisioned he would be when he got drafted. It's just taken him a little while, I think, to kind of grow into the role, if you will. But he got some high praise from Jimmy Butler, so that's got to be worth something, because I don't think Jimmy Butler gives out a whole lot of high praise, generally speaking. That's just my take on it. You didn't see any cases without Patrick Wisdom. You got two of them. He came out twice in two separate breaks. Hi, Toby. You need a Cam Reddish autograph. All right. Cam Reddish it is. Consider it lodged into our Mojo request bank. Yeah. So we'll work the Mojo here and see what we can come up with. Jay Allen, you should have kept bidding on the Nuggets, you said. They have hit a few already, haven't they? Goes in spurts like that sometimes, it seems. Certain teams just really go on a roll. A bit what we're in the midst of right now, it would seem. Alrighty. I'm going to grab a little water here, and then we will commence with looking through box number 5 of 10. Right away, we're going to find our first autograph out of this box. Headed to the Phoenix Suns, we have Ty Jerome. A little rookie. Finally, another rookie comes out. I will say this, in hoops, since it is the first product of the year where we see our rookies in their NBA uniforms, I really wish that it would be a higher proportion of rookie autographs in this particular product. Now, you know me. I like my veteran ink, and I like some of the old school stuff that we pull out of things for sure. But in the very, very first product of the year where they're in their NBA uniforms, man, I'd like it to be like 9 out of 10 rookies. That was number 1099 for the Heat. But it doesn't come out that way. And then there's another tip-off. Jay Allen, you're reminding me who you have in here for the Mojo. Hornets, Jazz, Sixers, Blazers, Pistons, T-Wolves, Rockets, Thunder, and Nets. And you said the other break got Joe. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he wandered over there and started having some fun over there, it sounds like. So I think he wandered off on us. I believe you are correct. Well, you know, I mean, hey, sometimes it's fun to watch drunk people. I mean, I don't know how drunk the guy is who's doing the break, if he's just mildly intoxicated or if he's like, you know, drooling kind of drunk, but sometimes it's funny to watch people like that. Not always, but Now, I probably wouldn't like it if it was my money involved in the break. I doubt I would find it to be very funny, but since I don't have any money tied up in that break, yeah, it might be kind of funny. You just never know. But I mean, I could not imagine trying to do a break when you're drunk. I really just could not. I don't see how anybody would be able to do that with any kind of anything. I say as I hit the camera, not being drunk. So I hit the camera talking about it. Nice. Nice correlating move there, wasn't it? I used to be able to lock that stupid thing where it didn't spin around like that, and I've done something to it recently. I don't quite know what, and I've just done it this week, and now all of a sudden it spins around, like not the whole tripod, just the top part of it. And sometimes even if I just hit the cord, it spins the camera around, and I don't know what I did to it. Or more to the point, maybe what somebody else did to it, but probably me. So, yeah, that was fun. It was a good timing, wasn't it? Right as I said that. Oh, funny. All right, we've got ourselves another little NBA Hoops magazine cover. This one with Zion on the front. So we had Ja on the first one, Zion on the second one. Those are not numbered, but they are pretty cool. I mean, let's face it, those are cool. I like those cards. If we could get one of those autographed, I'd be really happy. But, Jay Allen, was it you or was it Stang Lover? Or maybe both of you. Or maybe neither of you. But I want to say it was one of the two of you who told me about some break you were in where the guy passed out in the middle of the break, like was doing meth or something, and passed out in the middle of the break, and the live stream was still going. And he stayed passed out for like a couple of hours and then woke up and said, F this, and turned off the camera, and that was that. Was that you? Or was that a Stang Lover who was telling me that story? It's been a while ago. It's to 199 Robert Covington for the T-Wolves. I don't know. I always love hearing stuff like that. Just because it's just funny to me. I mean, again, not if you're involved in it, like I get. It's terrible if it's you and your money involved in it. But when it's not you and your money involved with it, it's kind of crazy to hear, isn't it? A little bit. So the Nets, like I told you, they hit most breaks. There they are again. And Jarrett Allen in this one, which should be you, Jay Allen. You have the Nets in here, I think, right? Pretty sure you do. You said the guy that was so messed up he passed. Yeah. That's the one. Yeah. That is the one. No, I know that's not the guy you're talking about now. I know exactly who you're talking about tonight. I've done breaks with the guy you're talking about tonight, and he's actually, and I even talked back and forth with him some through eBay messages, though I haven't in a while. But sometimes we share information, he and I. And he's a pretty funny guy, and I have no issues with him, but definitely I know he offends some people and whatever. But no, I know that's not the same guy as the passed out guy. No, I don't know who the passed out guy was. Nobody ever told me who that was. But I know exactly who Joe was talking about tonight. Do you all ever remember when radio shows, it's been, I don't know, quite a long time ago, many years ago, but they used to occasionally, not every radio station, but some radio stations would have their people drink on air because they were trying to like show the effects of alcohol or some such, and it was like a thing there for a while. And how crazy people would get after a few drinks when they were trying to do their work. I think it would be funny to do that with a break, but not that anyone had paid for. You know, say something I was going to open myself just for me, not for anybody else. So nobody's money was involved. But then just like open a box and, you know, whatever, do a shot. Open a box, do a shot, see how far you could get before it became impossible to do the break. A little experiment, you know. Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. You've heard some of those drunk radio shows. They're funny, right? I mean, I think. You got to have the right people, of course, because some people, when they drink, get really quiet. Some people get really sad. Some people get really mean. So if it's going to be a fun show, you got to get the right kind of person. You have to have the kind of person that is fun when they drink, not like a sad one or an angry one or a quiet one. Can you imagine? They just like suddenly just went quiet on the radio. Yeah, there you go. Jay Allen says I could do my experiment with a case of Topps opening day with commentary about the players as we went along. Oh, goodness. Yeah, opening day is not terribly expensive, but it would take me forever to open a case of that. And it's not necessarily one I would open for myself. But I might. You never know. Nikhil Alexander Walker, we got next hollow foil for the Pelicans. I'm sure it's nothing I will ever actually do, but I do think it would be funny, kind of, to do it, or to have somebody else do it. I know, I think of weird stuff. What can I tell you? I pass a lot of hours sitting at tables, opening cards and sorting cards, so my mind wanders. I don't know what else to tell you. I started watching a new show. I've run through almost everything on Netflix until something new comes on there. So I started watching something on Amazon Prime called The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Have you guys watched any of that? Anybody? Turns out it's really pretty funny. I had heard the name, of course, because I think it's won a bunch of awards and whatnot, but I had never watched it or even really had much of a concept of what it was about. Calvin Murphy and the Houston Rockets, our next autograph to come out. But so I started watching it this weekend, and it really has some good writing. It's got some nice little zingers, little one-liners and things in it. I guess I'm probably going to get that new Disney Plus streaming channel because I'm such a nerd. I like Star Wars, right? I do. I'll admit it. I know, geek, nerd, whatever you want to call me. It's true. But I do. I like Star Wars. So I want to see that new show, what's it called? The Maldorian or something like that. It's along the lines of a Boba Fett type deal of following a bounty hunter, I think. A new series that you can only get on Disney Plus. So I guess I'm probably going to pony up and get Disney Plus so I can watch that. I thought about getting it in the package because they've got it paired with ESPN Plus and Hulu, neither of which I currently subscribe to. So I kind of thought about doing that, but I can't find anywhere that really tells you what you get with ESPN Plus, and if it's even worth having or not. So I need to find out, I guess, a little more about ESPN Plus, because if it's all really super weird, non-mainstream sports, then maybe I don't care. You know, if I'm all having to watch Turkish league basketball and stuff, that maybe really wouldn't matter. This little bad boy is numbered to 10. That is a backstage pass, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak for the Bucks. So I think that if anybody has ESPN Plus, chime in there. Let me know what's on that stuff. You know, because I don't want to watch like bowling, and I don't want to watch golf, and I don't want to watch Turkish League basketball. But if it's got good college hoops on it, or even some college football, maybe some other stuff like that, it might be worth getting. But I can't seem to find anything that really tells you what's on it. Nasir Little and the Portland Trail Blazers. Another little rookie autograph out for us. And wait a minute. Karis LeVert to 199 for the Nets. Oh, Craig, you said there's going to be some old movies from the Disney Nature series. One is called Pim the Squirrel, and your dad was one of the photographers. Oh, nice. You know, I love those Disney Nature movies, and those have been coming out now for, I don't know, the last 8 or 10 years, probably, somewhere in that neighborhood. They come out every year on Earth Day. And my mother and I always try to go see it, if not on Earth Day, sometime during that first like 4 or 5 days. Because if you go see them in the first 7 days, Disney gives a donation to whatever cause the Disney Nature movie is about. So my mom and I have seen, I guess, all the ones that were in the theater. Except for some reason last year they shot one called Dolphins. And then they advertised it like it was going to be here. And then all of a sudden it just dropped off the radar. They never released it in the U.S. Apparently they released it somewhere overseas, but there was not any Disney Nature movie last year, which was so strange because it takes them years to film those things. But they are some awesome, if you like that kind of stuff, animals and nature and whatever, some really nice work they do on those. So Craig, when I subscribe to it, because I know I'm going to, because that's how I am, I'm going to go find that one that your dad was one of the photographers on, Pim the Squirrel. Or Perry, I'm sorry, Perry the Squirrel. I just glanced at that and I thought that said Pim. It says Perry, P-E-R-R-I, and I thought the R-R-I was an M. Nice. Check my vision much? Yeah, okay. It was done in the 50s. Sweet. Well, Jay Allen, I don't know. I don't think Dolphins could have really been bad. I mean, because really it's just following a group of animals around, and they get some incredibly detailed footage of these animals in their natural habitat. And if you ever watch any of the behind-the-scenes stuff that the filmmakers go through to get this footage for the documentaries, it is almost as interesting as the documentary itself. So I can't imagine that it would have been bad. I don't really know what happened with it. It was just super weird. So Craig, since your dad used to work for Disney, or at least he worked on that Disney product, do you have like tons of Disney stuff? Do you have a giant Disney collection? That would have been cool, working on stuff like that. So see, there's another reason we all need to go get Disney Plus bundled, perhaps with ESPN Plus and Hulu as well. It's not that much more to get the two of them added in, but I might start out with just the Disney Plus and see where it goes from there. I don't know. So here's another NBA Champions insert. We haven't seen a whole lot of these. This particular one, of course, is not numbered, but I believe it is the very first one we've seen that looks like that. We had a similar championship card that was numbered to 99, but no others that match that insert. So despite the lack of numbering, I think we can safely say it's not super common in here. That'd be my take on it anyway. We'll see. And you know, as soon as I say that, then we'll probably pull like 10 more, because that's what always happens. I'll say, oh, we don't see very much of such and such, and then immediately 100 of them will show up. It's just the way it goes. Oh, you're a landscape and wildlife photographer. Very nice. I bet that's fun. I mean, well, I used to do, back before I had my eye problems, I have some vision issues. Obviously, I looked at Perry the squirrel and thought it said Pim the squirrel, but anyway. I used to do concert photography. Concert and award show photography many moons ago. I was never very good at doing nature and animals and things like that, but I would try, and I envy you that not only can you do it, it sounds like you can do it very well. It's to $1.99 for the heat, because I think it'd be so much fun. I'm still one of these, you know, I'll take my gear out in the winter and go out around the bird feeders and try to catch little birds and squirrels and other assorted woodland creatures, if you will, out there in the winter time. So I still go out and mess around with it, but I was never good at it. I have an uncle, though, who he used to work for IBM for many years. He's super, super smart programming engineer type guy, and he took up photography after he retired, and he travels around and does waterfalls, which is another thing that is pretty cool in my book. Jay Allen, you said Hulu's loaded with stuff to watch. Well, it's not that much extra. I think the Disney Plus is like maybe $6 a month or something. Again, the hollow foil is unnumbered, but a variation, of course, of the regular NBA City that isn't the hollow foil. And then if you add in both Hulu and ESPN Plus, it only goes to $12.99. And I would kind of be okay with that, except it's the ad-supported version of Hulu, and they don't have a way for you to get it with the ad-free version, because I would rather pay more and have the ad-free version if I was going to get Hulu. Because I have a friend who has it, who started out with the ad-supported version, and she said it drove her absolutely crazy, and she had to switch to the, you know, ad-free version. Diumbo, I can't say this guy's name either. Anyway, he's the Detroit Pistons. 76ers to $199 with Josh Richardson. He said the last few years you've been focused on the photography of Native American rock art. Oh, well, that's kind of cool. Where do you travel around and find it? Or do you go like to national parks? I don't know a lot about where you find that sort of thing to photograph. Shows you my limited knowledge base right there. But it certainly sounds like it would be an interesting subject. Cameron Johnson. We got 2 rookies in that box. Yay. Phoenix Suns. That was close to your Cam Reddish, but not quite, right? We got the Cameron part right, but we didn't get that last name right for you, but we're still trying. I'm still working on it, Toby. I have not forgotten about you. The mojo's still trying to come through. Yeah, see, that's what I figured too, Jay Allen. The ad-free part is, I'm sure, what I would have to have based on what she told me about her experience with it. I don't think I want the ad-supported version. And I don't know why Disney wouldn't offer just a higher price package where you could still get Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu, but just make, you know, a second package where it was a Hulu ad-free version. Because I wouldn't mind doing that. You want to see the Charles Barkley autograph for the Rockets? I would love to pull Sir Charles. I'm always glad when we pull him. I was really happy when they finally got him signed to another deal. What was that, a year or two ago? Last year, maybe. And got his autographs back into stuff. It was really nice to see. I like Charles Barkley. I think he's funny. I think he offends some people, but he makes me laugh. What are his autographs bringing these days, Jay Allen? I know right when it first came out, they were bringing a lot. I don't know as much about now where they've settled in. Oh, that's cool, Craig. So you research it, and then tribal authorities work with you to locate the rare and hard to find stuff. Sometimes it takes up to a year to get permission and a guide. Wow. That's incredible, man. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad that you have fun doing that. And I'm sure it's very lucrative as well, because there's probably not a lot of other people who are willing to put in the time and dedication to do that when the process is what sounds like a very onerous one. I imagine that you probably do very well with it once you get the images, I would think. They sound like they would be cool. I always did enjoy photography. I've always been amazed at people who just don't care about it. I don't know how you... I don't know. I mean, these days it's different because everybody has a camera in their pocket or their purse with their phone. But it used to be, of course, that a lot of people just didn't document anything because they didn't have a camera, they didn't care about it, didn't think it was important. And I was always like, wow, like when you get older, aren't you going to want to look back on your life and see some things that you did? But these days, of course, now every moment of everybody's life is documented. It's numbered to 99, the Clippers and Terrence Mann. I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to go on Facebook and not see pictures of at least 50 people's meals in your timeline. My mom and I were talking about that the other day. We have a relative that posts a lot of stuff on Facebook, like I sneezed today, that kind of stuff. And it makes my mom crazy. There's another highlights insert. I think this is our second one that we've seen, that particular one, James Harden and the Rockets. Oh, all right. So we need to Google Santa Claus petroglyph. Is that how you say that? Petroglyph? All right. Yeah, I'll do that. And anybody else who happens to be watching, if you want to see what sounds like probably be a pretty cool photograph, Google that. I'm going to do it after we get done with the break, you bet. I want to see it. It's hard to protect images these days, too. I mean, anything that's on the internet's just kind of fair game. It doesn't matter. You can try to right-click, protect it, and all that sort of stuff. But one way or another, once it's on the internet, it is fair game for somebody to snag it. People do it all the time. Otis Birdsong. Another one for the Nets, and this is like way old school Nets right there. It's like back in the day Nets, but it's the second net, so, my theory holds true. Jay Allen, that's yours tonight, right? The Nets? So you've got a couple, at least, from that. Maybe some other stuff, too. I don't know. You've got a lot of teams in here, but I'm pretty sure the Nets is yours. A hollow foil courtside. Might be our first. Is this our first hollow foil courtside tonight? Plenty of regular courtsides, but might be the first hollow foil. John Wall on the front of it. Which, are they still going to want to have that expensive John Wall contract when he finally gets back to business? Because, hello, Bradley Beal has been absolutely playing out of his mind, hasn't he? Cody Martin and the Hornets. I mean, what did he have? 40-something points again the other night. Bradley Beal has just been, dare I say, blossoming since John Wall's been on the bench. To 199, Troy Brown Jr. and the Wizards. Of course, the problem would be who else would take on that contract. I mean, that John Wall extension was huge. And then, of course, he's been hurt. Got hurt, tore his ACL or whichever it was. And then whatever he tore when he was rehabbing from that, he fell in his house and messed up something else. And we haven't seen him play in a good long while now. For all that money he's getting paid. You said it is located in the 9 Mile Canyon in Utah, but if you don't know where it is, you would never see it just by driving through the canyon. Yeah, I did a little, when I was a little younger, more spry, before my rheumatoid arthritis, I used to go to Vegas, and then I would drive out to like Red Rock Canyon and places like that. I mean, they're not going to have the kind of stuff like what you're talking about, but there were always some really interesting and old rock formations of all kinds in Utah. So I'm not surprised that there's some cool stuff out there if you know where to look. I mean, don't get me wrong. I spent plenty of time hanging in the casinos when I was in Vegas too. But I also like to go out and do that sort of thing. Hike through Valley of Fire and Red Rock Canyon, and that kind of stuff was always fun. Oh, you had both hits in the last box. Well, you are in fuego tonight, Jay Allen. We're making up for some lost ground, aren't we? Nice. It's good to have nights like that every once in a while. Makes up for some of the nights when you don't get what you're looking for. So this is box 9 of 10 that is coming out of the wrappers right now. After we finish this, we will recap our hits, and then we'll use random.org to take care of those tip-off cards because they each have 2 different teams on them. And then after we do that, we'll be headed into Leaf Best Baseball. Jay Allen, you just looked up the Santa Claus petroglyph, and it's cool. Oh, see, I'm jealous. I want to see it right now, but I have to wait. I have to have some delayed gratification, seeing as how I'm in the middle of doing this right now. Craig, you know someplace that I always thought would be cool to go photograph, and this is going to sound weird because there's not much probably left there to photograph in the way of wildlife and nature, but there maybe there's probably some back by now. But Chernobyl. I am fascinated by Chernobyl, and not necessarily what happened, although that is fascinating, but more about how the area has recovered from a landscape perspective since all that happened in the years since. The Cavaliers and Osman. And I understand that these days it is cleared up enough. It's $199 to the Clippers, that they are starting to let some people go into that restricted zone. You still have to be really careful and can only be in there for short periods of time and blah, blah, blah. But it's been long enough now that people are allowed, I guess, in there and under certain supervision and circumstances. I've always thought that would be interesting to go photograph and see. I don't really know why. I just kind of do. I mean, it wiped out an entire area, just completely wiped it out pretty much. So that, and then looking at how things recover from like Mount St. Helens and that sort of stuff after natural disasters, how I don't really want to say the terrain, but kind of the terrain, but the flora and fauna, how they regenerate and what things look like years later. Be something I would want to do in stages, like before, after, immediately after, whatever. A nice hit here for the Miami Heat is Tyler Hero. So Tyler Hero and Ja Morant, both really nice hits out of this half of the case. That little road to the finals was to 499. I think that's the lowest one we've seen yet. Most of them have been quite a bit higher. Jimmy Butler to 99, the green parallel Miami Heat. And who else is in here? We haven't seen the second autograph yet, have we? Or have we? Was Tyler Hero the first one or the second one out of this box? Highlights, Dirk Nowitzki. I believe this is maybe the third or fourth we've seen out of this half case, but I do believe that's a bookend of Nowitzki, though. Yeah, a before and after of Chernobyl. Yeah, that would be an interesting comparison, I imagine. And even in the immediate aftermath, even up to now, just how it changes from year to year, and in that case, maybe decade to decade. De'Aaron Fox, NBA City. Hello, foil. And what else have we got? Maybe we had we already seen the other autograph in here? Did that Osman come out of this box? I just had to even look and see who it was. You know I'm the worst about remembering that sort of thing. I guess maybe he was. I guess he was the other one out of here then. Yeah, I guess he was. All right, kids, we are headed into the last box, so you know what that means. Last box mojo time. Let's see what fabulousness we can pull out of here. There, you saw a documentary on Chernobyl that was filmed a couple of years ago. And I think, you think it was surreal? Yeah, I bet it is. I mean, it's pretty incredible. That whole thing, pretty incredible. Even that nature can come back to take it over, as you say. I mean, it's... At the time, it was so devastating. You would think, it might never recover, but nature really is amazing. We did have 2 autographs in the last box. Okay, so Osman was the other one besides Tyler Hero. Got all excited about the Tyler Hero, and then I couldn't remember if the Osman had come out of there or not. But so it did. Very good. Getting there, getting there. Always the worst part of every break is waiting for them to come out of the packs. For me, anyway. Maybe not for you, but probably for you too, I would think. All right, off we go into the last box. Where we will see what we can find. That one to $9.99. So a couple of somewhat lower ones if you consider $9.99 and $4.99. I mean, they are somewhat lower than 2019 anyway, but yet still a little on the high side for my tastes. Another tip-off. Mafwandu, we pull him a lot. Seems like he comes out a lot in just about every product, so he signed a bunch, I suppose. No matter what the sport is, there are always some rookies that seem like they sign a lot more than other rookies. I imagine it has to do with their price point. You know, what Panini has to pay them per signature. And obviously the ones that they can get a deal with for less, probably a lot more of their autographs we find than the ones that they have to pay a bit more for. Apparently some of the guys will sign for as little as like $1 or $2 a signature when you catch them, you know, right out of college or whatever, if they're not on the track to be quote-unquote superstars. And then some of the higher end guys might get 20 or 30 or 50 a signature, depending on where they're drafted and how high their profile is and that sort of thing. You said in the documentary they toured a small amusement park and trees were coming up all around the Ferris wheel and merry-go-round and stuff like that. Wow, that's kind of cool, though, in a weird kind of Walking Dead creepy sort of way. Although, oddly, that is one thing I will say about The Walking Dead. Considering the shape that everything is in, you would think that a lot more overgrowth would take place on that show, wouldn't you? But, like, usually when you see stuff, it's still like, well, it's pretty well maintained. You know, yeah, there's abandoned cars and stuff like that, but you don't see, like, overgrown fields and whatever, even though, like, the whole place has been taken over by zombies for, what, 8 years now? Something like that. So, what the what? You never know. Stranger things. A courtside Donovan Mitchell for the Jazz with a hollow foil parallel. Whoops, that one is a rookie. Noah Vonleh, Minnesota Timberwolves. We've got one autograph left to locate here in the last box. Who's it going to be? Who's going to be the lucky recipient of the last autograph tonight? 76ers and Mike Scott to 99. Where is our other autograph? We got it. Maybe this is gonna. There it is. This is it. It's for the Hawks. Bruno Fernando is our last autograph out of this half case. Nurkic to 199 Blazers. All right, before we recap, we have a little housekeeping to handle. And that's going to consist of dealing with our tip-off cards. So each of our tip-off cards here, we've got two different teams on it, as you see. So we've got the Mavericks and the Magic on that one. Pistons and Bucks here, Sixers and Magic. That's Blazers and Spurs, Spurs and Sixers, Nets and Raptors. Here's what we're going to do with those. I'm going to go to random.org. I'm going to type in left side and right side. It's real simple. And because we have fewer than 10 items in our list, I will do random 3 different times. And after that third and final random, we will know which way that's going to go, to the team that is on the left side or the team that is on the right side. We always do random the same way. When it's 9 or fewer, we do random 3 times. First 2 don't count. Third one tells the story. When we do 10 or more, have 10 or more in our list, we only do it once. All right, so here we go. Ignore the first one. Ignore the second one. Here comes our third and final. There's 3 times, our date and time stamp. I made a typo, but you know that means left, so we're going to the left-hand side of the card. So I'm going to just circle these. They're in sleeves. I'm not writing on your actual card. I'm sure everybody can see that and know that these are in sleeves. You probably saw me putting them in there as we were going along as well, but they are not obviously written on your actual card itself. So the Portland Trail Blazers get the first one. The Spurs here get the second one. The third one goes to the Nets. Fourth out goes to the 76ers, the Pistons, and then the Mavericks. So that's how all of our tip-off cards are going. Compliments of dear old random.org that figured that out for us. Then we had one low-numbered card in here, and so we will take a look at it as well again. By low-numbered, I mean 25 or lower. In this case, I don't think we even got anything lower than 49 other than this. And that's numbered to 10, the Backstage Pass hollow foil for the Bucks, and the Greek Freak Giannis Antetokounmpo. Our autograph recaps. Bruno Fernando, the Atlanta Hawks, the T-Wolves and Noah Vonleh, Tyler Hero and the Miami Heat, the Cleveland Cavaliers and Cedi Osman, Cody Martin for the Hornets. And then we have Otis Birdsong for the Nets, the Phoenix Suns with Cameron Johnson, Diumbo or something, I can't ever say that guy's name, is for the Pistons, Nasir Little for the Trail Blazers. Then you have a little Calvin Murphy for the Rockets, the Nets and Jarrett Allen, Ty Jerome for the Suns, Alex English, Denver Nuggets, the Spurs, Quindary Weatherspoon. There's that beautiful Ja Morant autograph. Love that. That is so awesome. For the Grizzlies, Kyle O'Quinn, 76ers. For the Pacers, Bidatzi, or however you say his name, Kurt Thomas for the Knicks. An old school Nugget guy, Rafe LaFrance. And then here's the guy for the Pacers again, Biatzi, whatever. Let's just call him Beyonce. Obviously, it's not even remotely that, but, you know, whatever. I was butchering it anyway, so let's be real. Now then, we got another break to do. Let's take a look at our spreadsheet information while you're looking at that for a hot second. Let me check and see where we are with everything. And the answer is, drum roll, we are all paid up now. Yay. Yay, go team. Okay, so if you missed this earlier, here's the deal. I expect this stuff to be out the door on the way to you approximately Wednesday. As always, if I can get something out sooner than the date that you see listed, I will happily do so. And if something completely and utterly unexpected happened, it could always go a day later, but that's kind of doubtful. I'm going to try my best to make it be earlier. And everybody pulled cards and hoops, so you don't need to worry about consolation cards there. Of course, Veteran Base, its own bidding position, which we talked about already. Leaf Best of Baseball, if you happen to get skunked in that one, you will still get a package in the mail. It will have consolation card or cards in it, and it will ship out when the rest of the break goes out. Now then, let's scroll back up here, and this is how it looks. It is a 10-box case of 2019 Leaf Best of Baseball, full case break, break number 2. Also ended tonight on eBay, Saturday night, the 16th of November. Team names on the left-hand side, winning bidders across from each team on the opposite side. And yeah, and any redemption had its own bidding spot. I'm sure everybody saw that in the listing description. If we do hit a redemption in here, because this is a buyback product, it would likely be for memorabilia. So, or sometimes, every once in a while, you can hit one for a sealed box of cards or something like that, but usually it's memorabilia. But regardless of what it would be, if we hit a redemption, it goes to that person that has the any redemption bidding spot. All right? That's the moral of the story. Toby, you said that's the third autograph of who that you hit? The third one of who? Either way, it sounds like you got a bunch of them. So some of them may make their way to eBay. Is that right? Craig, you are welcome for the break, sir. Thank you for telling us where we can go see some cool photographs. I'm going to do that after I get done with the break. Jay Allen, you had 8 autographs in there. Dang, man. Nice. That is really good, man, because there's only, 20? There were 20 total in the break, so you got almost half of them. Not quite, but almost half. That's not too shabby, my friend. Not too shabby at all. So here in Leaf Best of Baseball, we're going to have a buyback card in each box, unless we hit the redemption, which might replace it. But normally, we would have a buyback card in each box and a Leaf Original card in each box. For the Leaf Original cards, they're not going to show teams on them, but if they are an active player in whatever sport it is, they will go to their current team. And, well, this isn't, I said in whatever sport it is. This is Best of Baseball, so obviously they would be in baseball. They're going to go to their current team. If they're retired, they would go to the team they played for the longest. I was thinking Leaf Best of Sports when I said no matter what sport they're in, so sorry. There's lots of Leaf Bests of. Best of Baseball, Best of Football, Best of Basketball, Best of Sports. There's all kinds of Leaf stuff. Man, they don't want to let me cut through there tonight, do they? So obviously, first things up, I'm taking all the plastic off. I'm cutting through all the leaf seals so that once we start rolling, we can just pop the lids and go through the whole group of them is the idea. I generally prefer to do it that way on stuff that's maybe only 1 pack per box or something. It's just, I'd rather get everything ready to go, and then that way we just stop once to do all the boring stuff, and then we can just rock straight on through after that. Well, come on now. Some of the plastic is not cooperating with me. Just saw the solicitation today for Leaf Best of Football. That's always a fun one. Stanglover, actually, he sells a lot of cards on eBay. You know, they hit some breaks and various things. And I think Brian from Leaf buys a lot of stuff, actually, on eBay that then ends up in Leaf Best of Sports, Best of Baseball, Football, Basketball, etc. So it's kind of cool. So I know Stanglover's had a few different cards that he has sold to Leaf that, you know, later show up in one of their products. So it's kind of fun. All right. Let's see what we've got. Our little foamy insert, there's it. So it's one buyback card, one Leaf original card per box is what we're looking for. This is Ken Griffey Jr. and is numbered to 25. That's going to go to the Mariners. And we've got a little Kirilloff here for the Twins. 2016 Bowman Draft. This is the Chrome Draft Picks version. It's first Bowman. It's graded to Gem Mint 10. And that is a pretty nice little hit for the Twins there with Kirilloff. Yeah, speaking of Bowman Draft, we're going to have a ridiculous amount of Bowman Draft this year. My rep called me and said, well, you only ordered this much Bowman Draft, but I can get you all this extra if you want it. And I don't know why I said yes, but I said, yeah, that'd be fine. So, like, we're going to have so much Bowman Draft, it's going to be absurd. Ken Griffey Jr. again, Mariners with the Leaf original. And our buyback card here is a 1984 Fleer update, also for the Twins, Kirby Puckett. And it grades to a 9. So the Twins are certainly off to a really good start. The Leaf original here is Casey Mize. And that's headed to the Detroit Tigers. And our buyback is Barry Bonds for the Pirates. 1986 Donruss Rookies, Gem Mint 10 graded. Barry Bonds and the Pirates. Those little foam inserts kind of bug me, honestly. I know they're necessary, but they do bug me, and they get little foamy stuff all over everything. Ichiro, numbered to 20. That is also headed to the Mariners. The Oakland A's and Ricky Henderson, 1980 Topps. Ricky Henderson, graded to an 8. We've got Mariano Rivera, 1 of 1. Woohoo! For the Yankees. How about that, Yankees? That's pretty cool. Greg Maddux and the Cubs. What is this? 1986 Pro Cards. I don't even know what Pro Cards is, but anyway, I guess it's graded to an 8 by somebody. Who graded that? Sports Cards Guarantee LLC. 1986 Pro Cards Greg Maddux for the Cubs. I've honestly never seen that card before. That particular card. But anyway, you know, it's Greg Maddux, the Cubs, 1986. Can't be all bad, right? Nolan Gorman, St. Louis Cardinals. And we have a Mr. Acuna here, numbered to 60 on an Arizona Fall League alumni autograph. And that, of course, is out of Bowman Chrome. Out of this year's Bowman Chrome, as a matter of fact, 2019 Bowman Chrome. That's where that's from. Because they didn't have those Fall League alumni cards until this year in there that I remember. How about a little Juan Soto to 15 headed to the Nationals? And speaking of the Nationals, here's Carter Kieboom, 2018 Bowman Chrome Purple, numbered to 250, and it grades to a perfect Gem Mint 10 for the Nats. Looks like we might have Joey Bart. Yeah, Joey Bart to 15 for the Giants. And a nice little Nolan Ryan. Ooh, I like that. It's numbered to 10. It's for the Rangers. Out of Diamond Kings. Next to last. That is Chipper Jones for the Atlanta Braves. And the Atlanta Braves again. And that is William Contreras, 2018 Bowman Chrome. First Bowman autograph graded to Jim Mint 10. Another PSA graded card. And last box mojo. What's it going to bring us besides a lot of foam inserts trying to jump out of the box? We have got another Casey Mize. This one to 20 for the Detroit Tigers and the Cubbies. That is Triple Threads, 2018 Triple Threads, Chris Bryant. It is numbered to 18. Card is graded to 9.5. The autograph graded to 10. All right. There you go. That is this box of Best Baseball. So let's take a look and recap it. Our Leaf Originals. Casey Mize, Tigers. Chipper Jones, Braves. Joey Bart, San Francisco Giants. Juan Soto for the Nationals. Nolan Gorman for the Cardinals. And that is a 1/1 Mariano Rivera for the Yankees. Ichiro, Mariners. Casey Mize, Tigers. Ken Griffey Jr., Mariners. Ken Griffey Jr., Mariners. Nolan Ryan to 10 for the Texas Rangers. Ronald Acuna to 60 for the Atlanta Braves. Little Mr. Chris Bryant, numbered to 18, graded to 9.5 for the Cubbies. Atlanta Braves with William Contreras, graded to 10. Carter Kieboom, numbered to 250, graded to 10 for the Nationals. Graded to 8, a 1986 Pro Cards Greg Maddux for the Cubs. The Oakland A's 1980 Topps Ricky Henderson, graded to 8. The Pirates 1986 Donruss Rookie Barry Bonds, Jim Mint 10. Pirates. The Twins with Kirby Puckett 1984 Fleer Update, graded to 9. And then the Twins with Alex Kirilloff, Jim Mint 10. All right, kids, that is the break for tonight. That's the recap for tonight. I will go ahead and put up the spreadsheet information one final time. If you missed any of it along the way and you want to know when your stuff is shipping, etc., hang tight. Here it comes. So Wednesday should all be out the door and on the way to you unless something unexpected happens. Hoping it will be sooner than that. Doubt that it would be any later than that. If you got skunked in Leaf Best of Baseball, you will still get a package in the mail. It will have Consolation Carter cards in it. Because this was a paid shipping break, they will ship out when the rest of the break goes out. And here's what it looks like in the days ahead. Tomorrow night, we're going to start really early, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. That means everything's going to be ending a lot earlier on eBay as well. We're going to open 1920 Flawless Collegiate Basketball by the half case. We'll open a 12-box case of Prism Football as well. Monday will be Immaculate Football, Bowman Chrome Jumbo, also known as HTA, and Certified Basketball, all by the full case. Tuesday, we're going to do a boatload of memorabilia and a little high-tech baseball. We'll do a TriStar Hidden Treasures autograph football, a case of Leaf autograph full-size helmets, a half case, which is 5 of Leaf autograph football jerseys, and a 12-box case of high-tech baseball. Wednesday, we're going to start at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. It will be 2019 Flawless Baseball by the half case and 2019 Playbook Football by the 8-box inner case. And probably one other thing that I'll add in there on a 3-day listing that'll go up tomorrow and end on Wednesday, but I don't know what that's going to be yet. Then on Thursday night, the 21st, we will go back and visit Prism again and open another case of it, Prism Football. And that, kids, is it for me tonight. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, bidding, breaking, chatting with me. If I don't see you again tomorrow night, enjoy the rest of your weekend and come back and see me again soon. Until next time, bye now.